Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mighty Ray's Garage. I just don't know what's going on this year. I have been sick again. It threw me off another week on the build. I'm already down. This will be 3 total weeks off on the build for the year, but I'm glad it's still February. Man, I didn't even comb my hair today. But anyway, nothing's done with that because I've been sick. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. Let me flip you around and get you started. All right, first things first, straighten this steering arm back up on the spindle because it was bent. In the process, it really softened up that grease in there. But anyway, everything appears to be in real good shape. There's no scoring on the bottom of the spindle, so they're good. I don't see any stress. All the stuff's here for them. They even gave me the washers for inside. But anyway, what I'm going to do at this point, I was contemplating removing this stuff here, but I think I'm going to leave it for structural integrity. Don't really need it, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it on there. For my build, these upper ears will need to come off. I'll just chop them right at the top of the axle. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the little ridges here because that's lines up really well for my other parts. But once I get those chopped off, I can come back. I've already lost them because I've been sick for so long. I don't know where things are. Wait, oh, here they are. These guys. I may. Anyway, I'm gonna mount these up. I may just connect them right here because that's about the right spot. I have not bought any steering components yet. I'm riding the fence on what I want to do. I may steal the steering rack and pinion off of Little Red. I've thought about it, but I've also thought about that nifty little 8-inch rack and pinion that Tennessee Mountain Homestead uses, or is using on his build. It's a pretty neat little billet piece. I'll put you a link down in the description for Tennessee Mountain Homestead. One of the most entertaining tractor building guys there is on the YouTube right now. Anyway, right now let's get the suspension done, and then we can get to the steering. But steering shouldn't be too hard. But we'll see. Let's get started. Enough of that. All right, guys, with a little heat, a little Southern Engineering, I've got, this is the good arm, not bent. It matches up. I realized it's perfectly even with that spot right there. So my goal was to do the same for this side. You see, I got the same spot. Got it straightened back out as best I could. It's the same level as that side, so. Like I said, a little heat and a little bit of bender. My Humongo channel locks here. Now a bender arm attached to one of the handles. Works pretty good when you put your hip into it. But that is now ready to start mocking up for the tractor. All right, guys, this is where I'm headed right now. I've been down this path already. I don't know if this was in an earlier video or not, or if I deleted it. But that looks like about the right location I want to do. But there's my Sears axle. It's about where I wanted to be, which is actually higher off the table than what I had, which is great because that'll bring the nose down just a little bit more like I hoped. All right, there was a comment made on the All Terrain Lawn Tractor forum whether I could mount the shock with the upper link. Yeah, but I don't want to move my axle any more forward. And I'd rather not have my shock tower so tall. All right, I got my shock tower risers made. I don't need a piece that goes across because I've already proven this design where I lean it out just a little bit. It gives more gusset room over here. That and it's a pretty good size angle. But anyway, these will attach here. I've already lowered the axle to where the proper ride height should be, so those will attach there. I'll give a nice look like that if I don't knock it over because I haven't tacked it yet. But we're moving along. We'll get these two tacked on in the right spot. Then I'll probably move these little, well, those little vice grips aren't big enough to put it where the shock tires need to go. But I'll use my big ones and I'll tack the upper connector there on both sides, and we will have our front axle in place. All right, guys, I'm ready to finish burning those in. Finally finished this around here, but I need to take it off. I'm gonna put it on my bench over here and weld it. And so far I'm pretty happy with what I got here. Go ahead and burn in the front side of these. Gonna leave the back side tack still to make sure this is gonna work out okay with the lower links. But let me get around to doing that and we'll put her back on. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see how foggy and drizzly it is. I don't know if you can see it in that light or not, but it's pretty foggy and drizzly. Crazy enough, it's been this way for about 5 days. It's just crazy. I hate it. But anyway, back to welding. All right, the axle's all welded up, both sides. Got those welded on. Here's my frame extension and shock tower. It's all done. There you can see those cutouts I was talking about in an earlier video. But there's that. It's all welded up. And hopefully I can paint it tomorrow. But it's not getting any less foggy. Boy, it's really getting it. Anyway, well, if I can't paint it, I can paint it later. But if I don't paint it tomorrow, I'll rehang it so we can start those lower links and get suspension done. Okay, guys, we're moving. Got the axle suspended by the shocks. I forgot to put my panhard in, but it's never too late for that. It's basically, I need a rod to go sideways, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and work on my lower links. Some sitting here admiring my little radius arm style suspension I've got going on. I haven't installed a panhard bar yet. And then I come to the quick realization of I kind of overlooked something. My lower links are in the way for steering. Gonna have to figure that out. I can always flip these upside down, but I wasn't planning on that. I can always move them to the front. I've not done steering in the front before. I may have to look into that. But I'm going to pause so I can stop and think about what I'm doing. Oh, and I can tighten and loosen this, like I was saying, to bring the axle forward and backwards, and of course this one to straighten the axle up. So, and I just measure from the center of the bolt to center of the bolt. But I'm gonna stop there for the day, and if I do any more, it'll probably be to go ahead and do the panhard bar. I just gotta figure out pretty much. Gotta do something like that. That's it. That's to keep the axle from floating like this. There's my mark. It's mark, so right about there center. So that's not very hard to do. We'll catch you later. All right, guys, there it is. My front suspension. Can't wiggle it back and forth, front to back. I'd have to get it down on the ground to show you the suspension travel, but I suspect only a couple inches. But I see a couple spots where I might bang the frame a couple places, but it's going to take pretty intense bumps to do that. But I'm going to put some rubber bump stops on there to help prevent that. Any damage, so it'll be good. But anyway, there it is. There's the front. And there's the side. It's a little angled because that board's holding it up, but yep, completely off the table right now. So that's the full hang. But there is the suspension. Everything you see there is now buttoned up semi-permanently. Depending if I have to take it back off, but there you go. My little rant earlier, I don't know if I'll keep it in the video. My concern was the steering. There's enough room right here. Like, I can bring to there, but I can always bend these up just a hair more or put a little tiny riser. Not much because it'll bend. But there you go. Pretty happy how it turned out. It is pretty solid. A lot more solid than I thought it'd be. So I put it down on the table in its own weight, but I doubt it's gonna squash any, but I'll do it anyway. All right, now it's on its own weight. Like I said, if I push down, we're just gonna get the table bend. And like I said, I got plenty of room. It's gonna be shooting across right here. So I got plenty of room to run some arms off of a rack and pinion. I'm digging it. First time I've done this. I think it's gonna work out really well. And I still have all the room under the frame for just belt and steering. So that's where I'm headed next, to steering. That one might take me a little while because I gotta order some parts. And as Tennessee Mountain Homestead has proven, it might take 3 weeks or more. I might have to get his buddy Chris to help me out. I don't know, we'll see. We'll talk with you later. But it finally took me about a little over a month. Not every day in the garage, but I finally ran out of propane. Gonna have to go get it exchanged. Sad day.